Welcome back to Herbal Drug Technology and Regulatory Science. So last time we have seen the past and present status of herbal medicines. Also we have seen the future as well as a global overview of the herbal medicines. Now we will see the medicinal and aromatic plant-based industries and the institutions and their role in the herbal drug technology. In India has a rich tradition of a medicinal and aromatic plants usage rooted in Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani and other folk systems. The country possesses vast biodiversity supporting thousands of medicinal plant species and other drugs. A medicinal plant-based industry plays a crucial role in healthcare and building economy of the country. It has been seen in past few years that how the herbal drug technology gave a boost to the economy. Traditional knowledge is increasingly integrated with the modern research. The newer sophisticated technology in the analysis and evaluation of herbal drugs giving a good amount of culture for the herbal drug industry. The sector includes a cultivation, processing, formulation and other research activity are the basis for such transactions of a technology. India has approximately 25,000 licensed pharmacies under the Indian system of medicines. Those can be categorized as Ayurvedic system pharmacies or Unani system pharmacies or other traditional medicine pharmacies. These pharmacies support Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani and other traditional practices. And they also the main source of medicines for all these traditional practices. They ensure availability of herbal drugs across urban, rural region and other regions where all the traditional systems are not yet reached. Regulation helps maintain quality and authenticity of such formulations. Regulations give a base level to maintain the guideline for maintaining the quality of such formulations. Widespread network highlights public reliance on traditional medicine. The registered drug formulations, around 1000 single drug herbal preparations are officially registered in India, which belong to the Indian traditional medicines. Nearly 3000 compound formulations are also approved for the use in India. These formulations are based on classical texts and traditional practices. Classical texts something like Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani textual references. Compound drugs combine multiple plant ingredients for synergistic effects. We have also seen how the traditional systems believe in a holistic approach, curing a disease or disorder in all the way. And that is why the compound formulation are showing very good success rate for treating ailments something like hepatitis as well as heart diseases. Registration ensure safety, standard composition and legal marketing of such formulations. Such drugs need a good industrial backbone to produce, and that is why we have in India around 8000 medicinal plant species which can be get formulated in different products in the industry. The plants are sourced from forest, cultivated fields and herbal gardens. The regulations also help to give the guidelines for cultivation as well as a procurement of such herbal products. Both wild harvested and cultivated plants are used for the formulations. One example of this is a senna. The senna is a well cultivated plant which is used in the many formulations in different traditional systems. Senna also a part of a dietary supplement and nutraceutical and other sectors of a nutraceutical worldwide use, and that's why the cultivation of senna is done on a larger extent in India and other parts of a country. This wide usage reflects India's botanical richness. Sustainable harvesting is increasingly emphasized to protect biodiversity. We have already seen how the Biodiversity Act gave a boost for cultivation of most of indigenous plants. Herbal research institutes and manufacturers. In India, we host several herbal research institutes and formulation manufacturers. Number is increasing day by day. We have a large scale, mid scale as well as small scale manufacturers in different parts of the country. These institutions focus on the drug development and validation of traditional claims. The research includes phytochemical and pharmacological studies, their evaluation and their scientific validation. Collaboration between research institute and industry is growing because the herbal drug industry is growing exponentially day by day. Despite of a progress, standardization using active markers remain limited. In history, we have seen that formulations are prepared and evaluated on a normal physical properties, but that is not enough for the modern days. We need to know which is the active component from those formulations. Based on that, we need to quantify that formulation and then standardize. In spite of having a good activity to the many of the formulations, they are not reaching to the global market because of the lack of standardization. This slide can show you which are the institutes research in the field of herbal drug technology and which are the industry supports to those research institutes as well as to the herbal drug market. This slide I have taken from a Ministry of Ayush website. What we can see here, there are number of institutes which do research in the herbal drug technology. But if you look their appearances, most of them are situated in the north region and mostly are in the limited states, something like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Delhi and some places of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Similarly, you can see a presence of most of the industries on those states only. That shows that we do have a lot of biodiversity, but the exposure in the terms of research and then continuation in the production as a manufacturing is very limited. That giving rise a thought to increase our reach and exposure for other states or other parts of country, that can give a good amount of contribution to the herbal drug industry. The northeast and east coastal zone will have a lot of biodiversity, but the research institutes and the industries are not reached up to them, and that is why we are lacking a traditional knowledge from those regions. What are the major issues in the standardization? No major pharmaceutical company has fully standardized herbal medicine using active compounds. Just take an example of Asava and Arista. Asava and Arista are preparation which are hydroalcoholic preparation made from a different plants and their parts. Now, in the Dashamala register, we have 10 roots and the extracts from them. Now, in those 10 roots, we have different types of phytoconstituents. It is practically impossible to quantify each of that, and that is the major lacuna in the herbal drug industry. Active markers linked to confirmed bioactivity are rarely used. Most of the time, such formulations are being standardized with a common ingredient, something like a phenolics component, a tannins or flavonoids, which may or may not have the desired activity, but because of their abundance, they are mostly used for the standardization. Lack of standardization affects global acceptance of the Indian herbal drugs. As I told you that most of the formulations from the traditional medicines are having a good activity, but they are lacking their exposure to the other countries because of lack of standardization. Variability in raw material poses quality challenges. The raw material what herbal drug industry uses, they procure from different region. Every region will have a different substituent for the same raw material. The variety change can bring the chemical profile change in the extract that can give you a different type or the different kind of a activity. Maybe the activity is not uniform with the every variety, and this have a major gap in the standardization of such herbal products. Scientific validation is essential for international recognition. Without that, we cannot have a claim on the specific activity over the Indian territory. A drug manufacturing scenario in India. India has nearly 8,000 drug manufacturing units all over the different states. Only about 25 manufacturers qualify as a large scale producer. All other are either a mid scale or small scale producers. Most manufacturers operate at a small or a medium level. They generally have ability to produce a batch size between 100 to maybe 1000 kgs. A small units contribute significantly to the domestic supplies. So, whichever the domestic market, they are mostly flooded with these small unit products, and that is why they have only a limited reach for their products. Regulations, most of the time such small scale producers will not able to justify. A limited large scale production restrict global market penetration. So, if we need to reach into the global market, then we need more number of large scale producer. The Indian government and the policies of a government giving a good amount of reach for such product by developing the policies for their betterment. The Ministry of Ayush was established in 2014, have a good focus on such small scale industry. They are getting the good amount of schemes to get this small scale industry in a bigger canvas. A number of academic, industrial and government institutes conduct a medicinal plant research, and that all helping the small scale industry. There are many open platforms where the knowledge is being served and being used by the small scale industry to produce a newer formulations. Research covers ethnobotany, phytochemistry and pharmacognostical background, and that give you a good amount of a force to reach up to the different areas of a country and get new products out of it. Pharmacological and clinical studies are also undertaken for such traditional drugs where they do not have a literature proof. Many of the traditional drugs are being used domestically in particular region, and that is why their literature evidences are also limited. For such drugs, the government policies are giving them a good amount of knowledge sharing approach where they can get the information and they can use that information to produce on a large scale. A safety evaluation and formulation research are key focus areas by this research institute. The research output is vast but scattered across the institutions. Lack of systemic review and global visibility. No comprehensive review exists summarizing India's medicinal plant research. There is no a single platform where all the research is being reviewed and put up together. Much valuable work remains undocumented at a national level. TKDL is giving a good amount of exposure for such product, but that need to be get registered under the TKDL. Because of most of the traditional knowledge is lost, it is not yet documented properly. International databases often exclude Indian journal publications because of their internal policies, and that is one of the reasons that our research in the field of traditional knowledge is not being acknowledged in the globe. This results in a low global awareness of Indian research contribution as well as traditional knowledge. A better documentation and indexing are urgently needed to fill this gap. What will be the role of eminent institutes? The several eminent institutes actively research medicinal plants and Ayurveda. These institutes support innovation and validation of traditional knowledge. Their work strengthens evidence-based herbal medicine. Improved collaboration can enhance global recognition. Systematic review and standardization will shape the future of the sector. Thank you.